Hi everyone. Um, Thank you for watching my video. So my name is Ario, and today I'm going to present you about my game analysis, and it's a game called Oxygen Not Included. So let's get started. So for today's video, like here are the summary that I include for this video. So we're gonna talk about what this game includes, and then like we're gonna show a bit of gameplay, and then we're gonna talk about what's the good, what's the bad, and yeah, the things that maybe they should include in this game but not included. And of course we're gonna talk about the game design principles that we talk about in class for analysis. Also we're gonna talk about some games that has similar attributes to this game, and finally we're gonna talk about the game loops, so like the overall gameplay loops for this game. So yeah, on to the next slide. Okay, so what is Oxygen Not Included exactly? So Oxygen Not Included is a survival strategy game that revolves around colony building simulation. It was developed in Barclay Entertainment and early access in 2017 and full release since 2019. So basically, like, you build, you survive, and also there's a lot of simulation aspect in it, and it's also a bit of sandbox. So all of those elements, like, they help build the game together and makes it interesting every time. It's also like procedurally generated, so the world is, every time you play the games, like, there's a like random seed generator, like we can show it later in the video, in the gameplay. So yeah, your goal is to survive and thrive basically. So you might think, like, so is it like Minecraft? You can craft, you can build. Uh, there's some similarities. We will talk about it later. But for now, like, the goal of this game is actually, there's no end game. But I think the end game for now is like you can progress your small colony, so you'll be able to build a rocket and reach to the stars. So yeah, that's basically, it's a survival simulations game. So in the next slide, in the next scene, like, I'm going to show you a bit of gameplay so you can have some idea about the game. Alright, so here are some of the Oxygen Not Included gameplay. So these are my base, and as you can see, like, we have different layout. These are the oxygen overlay, right? So like you can see, like, this measured in gram. You see the red gas, chlorine, carbon dioxide. The blue one is breathable, red one is unbreathable, and you can see they try to mimic gas properties, right? So like oxygen is light, hydrogen is lighter, so it goes up. Hydrogen, oxygen. Here is carbon dioxide, so it mimics gas diffusion. So you need to power your base, right? You have to make an oxygen diffuser here to give them oxygen, and then you need power. As you can see, like, these are quite complex. So how you get the power is like you burn some coal here in generator and then supply it for your whole base, and yeah, and then this machine can work to generate some oxygen. And you also need to think for your duplicants, right? So they need toilets and stuff, so you need to build a plumbing system. You need to pump some clean water and then bring it here to the sink, to the toilet, and then dirty water goes here. And yeah, very interesting. This is gas fans. So as you can see, like, to maintain this colony, like, there's a lot of things to think about: power, water, oxygen generation. Heck, you need some food too, right, to keep your, well, duplicants alive, eat and alive. So you tell them what you wanted them to do. So let's say I want them to dig right? So take this area. So some duplicants will decide to go there. Take some time because like duplicant has like priorities, so like they will do the assigned things first and then like they will go to the next one. So it has priority built. So yeah, as you can see, like it's quite a complex game. Like it takes time to learn the overall system, and this is still very small base. Like I'm still, even today I'm still learning, but I feel great like learning this game. Try to find out about the mechanics, and if you go up you can see that this is the goal, right? You reach space, but I'm not there yet, so it still requires a lot of research and time. This is where your duplicant comes out. So every certain cycle, like they will give you one duplicant, so like population will keep growing. So yeah, that's the brief gameplay. You assign your duplicants, building stuff. As of right now, I'm trying to build this chamber to plant this seed. As you can see, like it requires specific requirements to make sure that the seed will grow. So yeah, that's the very brief gameplay of Oxygen Not Included. Right, so now that you've seen the gameplay, we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the not included in the game. So you've seen like how complex the game is, like the whole system, how it's interlinked within each other, like how the electricity should power your oxygen generator and also power your water pump, and you need, there's a lot of things to think about in this game. So let's start with the good one first. So the good one is like the game cartoonish style, and it has great simple design that I think prioritize the clarity. So like all the objects in the game, like they have simple drawings, but it's it's easily distinguishable. So like every machines, every storage, every object, like you won't having a hard time to distinguish between them. So I think it's great to, when you're building a simulation game like this, or a sandbox, like if you want to build a colony, like you have to know like which machine goes to which. So the second one, the plus one, I think this is one of the great one, and it want to teach you a bit about like real world application, like physics, ideas about engineering, circuit logic. So as you can see there, a bit of scientific stuff. Yep. So although it's not like 100% accurate, but it does mimics real life properties, right? So like you can see like the oxygen is a bit lighter than carbon dioxide. That's why like the gas always goes down for carbon dioxide, and then the hydrogen always goes up. Something like that is very interesting to learn. And I'm gonna skip that for a moment. We're gonna go to the downside of this game. So like this is the one that I think for people who wants to play this game in the beginning, like tutorials not included. So it is a quite fitting title for this game because you have to figure out everything by yourself. You have to think, how do I work this out, how to figure out the best way to power my base, how to make sure that I'm not running out of oxygen, how to there's a lot of things that they won't explain it to you, like you have to figure out yourself. Fortunately, like the community of this game is quite extensive, so like you can always go to YouTube, Reddit, like a lot of, and even the game forums, like it's great. They give you a lot of tutorials, but yeah, still it would be great to have some tutorials in game a little bit just to explain. And of course, like because it's a simulation game, it's a time sink. Again, I don't know if it's bad, but since gamers like us usually spend hours playing game, and it's not a problem, but I think it requires your time investment to learn, build, trial and error. So testing your colony limits is fun, but it does take time due to its mechanic. Also, like the limitation of the duplicants, like the duplicants need to rest and stuff. So like it does extends the cycle a bit. And finally, this one I put it in both plus and minus because like complex mechanics, like some people like complex mechanics, some people don't. So I like it for this case because like I feel like it's quite rewarding if you learn about it, but also like it does take time to learn and can be difficult to understand because like it's a bit uh, it's quite scientific in some sense because like you need to understand a bit about physics, about how gas properties work, you know, how there's even a circuit logic in this game. Even I haven't got there, but yeah. So I think this one is plus and minus at the same time, but yeah, I think it's fair to say that. On to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about uh, what is included in game design principles for analysis. So I decided to choose three. So the first one is behavior. So oxygen not included, like they try to mimics the actual real world physics. So like what's great about it is like it's not perfect, but you can see like how they put a lot of thought into it. Like for example, like even in the empty space, like you can see that there's a gas, like the amount like measured in kilograms, fluid motion, circuit logic, electrical system. You know, you need transformers from higher wattage to like lower wattage to power your device. That such thing, like it actually mimics our real world counterparts. Not 100% accurate, obviously, but it's great. Like they think such of this stuff and makes the game more interesting. So yeah, like gas diffusion also, like heavier gases goes down, carbon dioxide, hydrogen goes up, oxygen in the middle. Yeah, as you can see in my previous uh, in a gameplay demo, right? So the second one is like teaching without teaching. So I would argue that this is also great feature because like they will only give you some basics about how to use this, but what you have to figure it out like most of the things. So let's example like okay, so I can there's clean water, there's like polluted water full of germs. How do I clean these germs in the water and make it reusable again? So they won't teach you like the exact thing, exact build, like how you're gonna build it. Like you have to figure it out yourself. So yeah, it encourages you to like think, make mistakes, but once you like figure out those builds, those mechanics, like it will be so rewarding. Yeah, you learn about the environment, the physics, like electronic mechanics. Like if you understand all this stuff, like, you can progress your base like exponentially, you know, move forward, and finally you can reach the stars. So that's great, like teaching without teaching. The final one is control freedom. So the game does give you a great amount of freedom, like you're free to do whatever you want. Yeah, there are some limit. I think the limitation uh, would be the duplicants, like because like you only the architect, right? You tell them what to do, but at the end of the day, like the one that has to do the job is the duplicants. So I think it's in some way like it helps you to give some balance to the game, you know, like you're free to build whatever you want, but there are some duplicants that do the work for you and kind of give some a bit of limit what you want to build uh, at the same time. So now we're going to talk about some game that has similar game design, right? The one that uh, has in oxygen not included. So like I think everybody has this in their mind. It's Minecraft, obviously. Very similar block-based resource, oxygen not included, same. All of the difference is like I think the world in Minecraft is a bit unlimited. So like it does have seed generator, but I don't think control freedom is here. Like it doesn't. There's no boundaries. Like you can actually keep going, keep building. So and yeah, but the rest I think is similar. Like they barely teach you about anything about complex mechanics. Like Minecraft has this redstone mechanics that acts as a circuit logic, which is makes it quite interesting. You can build some interesting builds, but yeah, they won't teach you about it. You have to figure things out yourself using the redstone. Terraria, again, extremely similar. So block-based resource, behavioral mechanics, like uh, yeah, it's both are very similar. I think like in terms of comparison, uh, these two are I think could be the closest. But what makes like Oxygen Not Included difference is like you don't control the character, right? The developers decides to like, okay, we give control to you as an architect, but the one that actually does the job is the duplicants in the game, right? So they're the one who's doing the job. But in Minecraft and Terraria, like you are you doing uh, all the things in this world, you know, in the game world. So that's I think the main difference. Like first person, like you play as a like for your first person, but in this one, like you're a bit of third person view. You control this duplicants to do stuff for you. So the game loop. I think since it's a complex game, such a complex game, uh, it's kind of hard to like pinpoint exact mechanics, right? But I think this is the best pathway in terms of mechanics. So like you start a colony, like the one I show in the tutorial. You gain basic resource, you build some machine from your resource, and then your colony starts to grow. Like every duplicants keep coming right from the portal, and then you maintain a colony, feed them, give them oxygen, make sure they can sustain, and then like you try to do some research, like basic research, and then like you can harness even more advanced resource once you keep digging, keep going deeper, and then you'll be able, from your research, you can be able to create more refined resource. Refined resource lead to more advanced research, and then like advanced research, you can create more advanced machinery. All this stuff like keeps going, right? But at the same time, you need to be able to sustain your colony, like to keep it alive. You know, there's no oxygen leaks. There's like you can maintain this. Well, as the game says, oxygen not included, right? So like keep maintain the oxygen level. And then rocket research, rocket building, and space exploration. So that's kind of an end game part. Although I wouldn't say that's exactly the end of the game. Like you can keep building, you can keep exploring the space after that. But yeah, I think this is the summary of the game loops. Obviously, there's much more complex there's much more complex thing happen. But if you put it in the loop line like this, yeah, I think this is the best way to present this. So that's it from my video presentation. So thank you so much for watching. So you can check out Oxygen Not Included on Steam. It's a great game to teach you a bit about STEM, science, you know, a bit of engineering, not accurate, but I think it's great. The game overall is great. You know, they really taught all the mechanics there. And also you checked out the developers too, Play Entertainment. Such great developers, like you might know them making Lone Star, Mark of Ninja. Every time I play their games, my mind is blown, you know. Such, yeah, great developers. So yeah, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.